Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Average Woman Podcast, formerly known as the Age Woman Podcast. Still that same lady, still bringing you this truth, because I got loves for you, So I've been working, building up some more, because some of you ladies don't like to do podcasts, I understand. So I converted some of my podcasts to visual on YouTube. So go definitely and check that out. The Average Woman channel on YouTube. Support your girl. I'm also working on Facebook, the Average Woman Podcast Show on Facebook. So tune in, tap in, support your girl. Because that lady I got some work to do. So today I want to talk about the women of the Bible. Let's talk about the women of the Bible. Because a lot of women refer to the women of the Bible and about various things, but the evil women of the Bible, they don't never say, what they did and how we need to learn from their behavior. I never hear that. I never heard, why Jezebel ended up getting eaten by dogs, and the only thing that was left of her was her skull, her foot, and the palm of her hand. No, none of these scholars, none of these Bible scholar women too much is going to really talk about that, because I know that all of that is to hide the behavior that got Jezebel the judgment that she received. Why are they not telling us that we are to behave in order? The story behind Jezebel is that Jezebel riled up her husband, mind, with all kind of foolishness, and she went around putting to death prophets who was doing the work of the Most High. All right, and she was running her mouth, riling up her husband, got her husband all excited. Her husband got put to death, all of them, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because they was doing some foolishness. And at the end, she ended up getting tossed out the window by some of the alphabet men back in the days. She ended up getting thrown out the window by some alphabet men, and they end up letting the dogs eat her. No one not left for the dogs ate her. So, what the world? So, the lessons of Jezebel should be taught to the young women. Because what did Jezebel do to bring so much wrath on herself that she wasn't even able to have a proper burial? Because she got so gangster with the Most High. You know what I'm saying? They ain't talking about that. Oh no, now that is not one thing they is not gonna tell y'all. They're not gonna tell y'all about that story about Jezebel. But see, Jezebel, she was wicked. Because she used and manipulated her husband to do wicked, and because of her doing that, her husband met his death, and he cursed the whole family. But and I feel like, just like the story with Eve and how Eve was the one who brought sin into this world, the story of Jezebel should be taught to the women to understand that you and your actions could curse your whole setup. And I think that if women knew that their actions would curse their whole setup, that just maybe they might change a little something. But we'll be right back after these messages. And we are back, and today we are talking about the women of the Bible that we don't talk about. The women and the behaviors of the Bible that we don't talk about and that we don't praise. So we gonna stay on this topic with Jezebel, because I told y'all she nobody talks about her. Nobody's saying how conniving and sneaky Jezebel was, how she used the power that her husband possessed to do her enemies wrong, moving in selfishness instead of encouraging her husband to don't worry about all that foolishness, encouraging him the right way. You lay in the bed and you your husband's worst enemy. You lay beside this man and you encouraging him to do things and manipulate him to do things that you know that could be detrimental to your family and his life. So what kind of person are you, Jezebel? You know what I'm saying? Using your man's power and his money and this here for wickedness and for your own selfish gain. Jezzy. See, but we don't talk about that because we need to learn lessons from these women. Because Jezebel isn't in the Bible because she was a good person. She was a monster. And she was conniving and she was sneaky and she was manipulative. And she had her own intent to do people wrong. So when you are around and you participating in all kind of wickedness, you think that it's no retribution for that, and it always is. It's a retribution for anything that you do. Trust and believe. It's a retribution. Don't nobody get a free pass on foolishness. Not even me. I gotta get my judgment too. You understand? So that's why I try to do more good works than bad works. But by far, I am not perfect. I'm not winning no Priest of the Year award or none of that stuff. I put my tights on under my skirt every day, just like you, right? But at the end of the day, you know, my heart's desire is to do right and be right, and that's where you got to be. These women of the Bible, they tell us these lessons, but we ignore the lessons because we don't really want to hear it. What kind of woman were you, Jezebel, when you start seeing your family fall apart and you just continued on in your foolishness? First of all, that teaches us women, these women in high positions these days with that powerful voice, but instead of you speaking righteousness and trying to do right by your husband, you speaking wicked and wicked against this person, wicked against that person, and then bringing that foolishness back to your house. Jezzy. Joe Jezzes, you know, you don't even realize that you're doing it. And it's a reason why we don't want to hear that story, because we doing the same thing. We hide behind our husbands' back doing all kind of ill stuff, and we don't want to be held accountable when everything come out in the open. Or we cheating and lying and being conniving and manipulative, and then when it all come out, it wasn't us, it was somebody else. I was just playing. You know, we got to check that spirit. We got to check our spirit. Hey, you can't continue to feel like you are a good person or like you deserve good things when all you put out is wickedness. There's no way in between that. You know, you got to check that stuff. Either you mean your husband good and you going to speak good, or you going to be that you going to be Jezebel. And you see what happened to her. It's a price to pay for the wickedness. It's a price to pay for mama always being selfish and thinking about herself and not caring about nobody else. It's a price to pay when mama sits silent and let the kids feel like they can do and say whatever they want to do and not correct their behavior. It's a price to pay for all that. And we'll be right back after these messages. You know, welcome back. I was just about to get right into it. Let's get into it. So, you know, I was raised in church too. For the brief time that I was dealing with the church, I remember the big sassy, bodacious first lady of the church. I remember the mama who had all the attitude because she was over the kitchen and all this here. I remember those ladies of the church. But those ladies, them prim and proper ones, them be the worst ones, y'all. Y'all know those country belles ain't nothing but undercover freaks. Period. Country belles don't let that old sweet southern thing, that ain't nothing but they're a freak vibe. Period. And feel like they can get over on you because they think that they got you fooled. And 90% of the time, y'all know that that ain't even so. And I don't even have to say nothing. Y'all watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. Anytime you dealing with those Southern belles, they be just straight freaks, period. So don't let the smooth taste fool you when it comes to stuff like that. You know, you have to learn that you're not going to learn righteousness watching TV. Unless you're watching my channel and I'm telling you this good stuff. But you're not going to learn righteousness watching TV and following role models and idols that's on TV, because TV is tail lies to your vision. So nobody is going to ever really show you the righteous way to do things. It's all about your mentality and how you think about things. You know what I'm saying? But the TV tell lies to you, thinking like everybody going to the club every day, everybody, living this wonderful, fabulous life all the time. But even Cardi B ain't Cardi B 24/7. You know what I'm saying? If she was, she wouldn't have no man. She have to tone that stuff down because she got a husband. And that's why they had problems in the beginning, because she didn't understand that. And maybe still don't. Who knows? But trust and believe, any long-term relationship of anybody, you can believe that it's order in the house. And the women who don't have order, most of the time, they men not faithful to them, or they men ain't faithful. When you out here thinking that you can live your best life and all, it's like that. Your best life is making sure that them kids are good, your husband is taken care of, you got the things you need at your crib. If people trying to rock like you and him rocking, and they stable in their relationship and they ain't got no drama, you can mess with them. But if they're not getting down like that, then I holler. I can only deal with you for a certain amount of time, because for one, you don't live like I do. And I don't live like you do. And I don't pass judgment on nobody. If you want to get down like that, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with however you want to live, and you should be cool with however I want to live. And once we have that understanding, like, we can get along with anybody. But just know that my presence is not always going to be around. I'm not always going to be around you. I'm not always going to be able to deal with you because you don't get down the way that I do. And you tend to try to treat me like I'm like you, and I'm not. So, yeah, we have to draw a line somewhere. And it's cool, because as long as we didn't wrong each other, we'll always be friends. You see what I'm saying? It's just you have a different life. You have different things going on than what I do. And we as women, we have to understand that. Like, you can't be a girlfriend in a wife's position. When you say, okay, I'm about to be this wife, that means you come in from the streets. That means your life is done. You done with that out there. And it's about what you and him building. See, and we don't have that mentality. See, we still feel like we need to have girlfriend getaway without our husband. And I don't never understand that. But we'll be right back after these messages. And welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Average Woman Podcast. Ladies, I'm just like you. I'm just like you. I'm telling you, I got my issues. I'm still dealing with my issues. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, I got 99 problems, but my life ain't one of them. You know what I'm saying? Baby, stress eating is definitely one of my problems that I'm definitely trying to get a hold of. Because I'm telling you, but it's you got to have faith. You know what I'm saying? You got to have faith to know that if I do right by this man, if I give this man my all, because this is the closest thing that I'm going to get to a man. You know what I'm saying? This is the man that God sent for me, that he got planned for me. Especially, like I say, when it's God, because it ain't you. You know what I'm saying? And because it's God, because the man he's interested in you. Just the way you are. You ain't got to put on a mask in a show for him. Like, he know you stink when you go to the bathroom and shit, and he love that shit anyway. So you don't have to be a star, baby, to be in his show. You is the show. So when you have that kind of connection with a guy, how the hell you not gonna be like, oh nigga, you like this? Let me pop that thing for ya. Shoot, if you telling me you love this here, you love me the way that I am. Man, please, look at here. And I ain't got to fart fairy dust and sprinkles and stuff. I ain't got to fake. Nah, you just want me to be me. And if I can't be nothing else, I can be me. So I'm rocking with that. And that's how these men want you. See, our men can't go buy fake hair and skin and mustaches and muscles and stuff and hide that stuff and be all out in public, with all kind of cucumbers down in their pants, checking us and all. But then we do that. We put on fake titties, fake asses, fake lashes, this, and then expect the men, well, you ain't good enough. Well, you take that shit off you got on, and let's see if you good enough. That's where you need to be. You need to be humbled And know that once you take that off, you just a regular old average person. But you done been so used to tell lies to your vision, you think that you supposed to be walking around looking like that. All that's for a show, y'all. You ain't trying to be in no show. Sometimes I be around my house looking rough. And my husband tell me, he say, I hit it. I be like, hey. So I ain't doing too bad. As long as he love me and he good to me, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? I'm here because God wanted me to be here for him. And I'm here to do whatever is required. That's how you have longevity, and that's how you be happy. That's how you not be like, oh, I'm so miserable. Why? You got all these fantasies as a woman. That's your man to do all the fantasies you got with. That's how it's supposed to be. Not you fighting against the matrix. You into the matrix with this man to help you figure it out. You know? But we don't want to submit. I'm telling you, and submitting ain't about laying down on the ground and letting him walk over your back. It's just about being chill. It's about being chill. He running the show. However, because his responsibility is to make sure we good. And if he can't make sure we good if we doing what the hell we want to do. That is the boom moment, y'all. He can't operate and do what he needs to do for us as a man if we don't stay in order and support what he is trying to do. Period. You can add your little stuff every now and then in his ear if he chooses to take it. That's good. If he don't, that's fine, because it's his plan. I can't even stress that enough. But you've got to understand that this is not our show. If you want a man to choose you, you're going to have to allow yourself to be chosen and allow yourself to just submit and melt in his arms like butter. Don't bring him no pain. Don't bring him no stress. You know what I'm saying? The Deborah and the different women of the Bible that raised themselves up to be great women, they wasn't able to do those things because they was out here trying to live their best life. They had to succumb to their place as a woman. That you have to succumb to your place as a woman. Take that bass out your voice. Stop chasing this dream that's tell lies to your vision. You know? I'm telling you. The best thing that you could ever do is just give your heart to a man and just be on that level and in that moment with him. And it ain't no faking that. Until next time, ladies, I say Shalawam. I'm out.